am back, and I'm still switching some things over. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and just make sure that we've got everything ready. And it looks like we do. It looks like we are doing just fine. I do have to, give me a second here. Okay. All right, it seems like we are good. I think we're good. I think I've got ample sound. I don't think we need to do anything else, so I think that we are good. I think we're good. Test 1, 2, 3. I think I'm coming in good. We're going to leave it right there. All right, Malkiyyah Uriel here. Glad to be back with you. And of course, tonight we're going to be hitting on some topics. We're going to be talking about structure and purpose. Structure and purpose of Shabbat. Believe it or not, this is important because I feel as if without structure, we are in a very bad place. Okay? Let me do this before we move forward. I want to give some shout outs to my brother Burton Paris, who's with us in the house. High five. There you go. Yeah, I'm glad that you're with us. We had some technical difficulties. But we are back. If you give me just, a little bit of time, we're going to hit some things that I feel are important. There's going to be some things that are definitely a reminder. But Shabbat is very important. Many people feel as if Shabbat is just something that, hey, if I have time or if it's convenient, yeah, then I'll go ahead and flow with that. But scripturally and spiritually, it is very, very important. So we're going to be talking about that on tonight. And so let's begin to talk about Shabbat. Let's talk about the purpose of Shabbat, and let's talk about the structure of Shabbat. And I know that this is one of those lessons like, look, man, I already observe Shabbat, but do you really observe Shabbat? Are you really observing Shabbat? There was a restaurant owner who was Hebrew, and of course, they would be open on Saturdays. And she said to me, excuse me for being open on Saturdays, okay? And I'm like, hey, that's between you and the Creator, right? Because this is a personal walk between us and the Creator, so it's important for us to take this personal, right? You want to take this personal. So let's begin with this particular scripture here. It's Ezekiel 20 and 12. And it reads, moreover, also, I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they may know that I am Yahweh that sanctify them. Now, wait a minute. Why is that? Oh, there's a slight echo. Hold on here. Let me deal with the slight echo. Let me see what's going on with that. I appreciate you letting me know, my brother, that there is a slight echo. Let me take care of that if I can. Okay, I think that maybe. Okay, let me see. Let me take a look at something else real quick to see if we yet have an echo. I remember having this problem before and having to deal with it. Okay, I don't know if the echo is gone. But let me know if the echo is gone. Give me a 1 if it's gone. Give me a 2 if it is not. A 2 for it is not gone. There's still an echo. 1 if the echo is gone. Okay, we're good. All right. We're good. Okay. All right. Well, hey, let's start here. Ezekiel 20 and 12. Now, I want you to notice something here because many people miss this when this scripture is read or rehearsed. It says, moreover, also, I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am Yahweh that sanctify them. I'm Yahweh that sanctifies them, okay? Now, here's what I want to point out, and here's what is so very important, and here is what is very profound. He says that I gave them my Sabbaths. So the Sabbath belongs to me. The Sabbath is mine, but I'm letting those who are my children, those who are my chosen ones, I'm bringing them into my reality. I'm bringing them into my structure. I'm bringing them into what I am into. This is my Sabbath, and because I love them, I want them to enjoy my Sabbath. Okay? Now, with that being the case, what he's saying is, it belongs to me. I'm really the Lord of the Sabbath. Okay, not JC, not Yeshua. I am the Lord of the Sabbath. All right? And because I'm the Lord of the Sabbath, I'm inviting you into it. Okay? So that is the one thing that we want to see, that he sanctifies us by that, and he brings us into his presence so that we can share his Sabbath with him. So make that a note. I'm sharing the Sabbath with the Most High, because what I'm doing on the Sabbath, the Most High is also doing on Shabbat. So we are in this together, right? We're in this together. Leviticus 23 and 32. Now, this has also been a point of contention, but notice what it reads. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. Now, notice what it reads here. It says, from even unto even. In other words, from the evening unto the evening, you are going to celebrate your Sabbath. Now, what I'm going to say here real quick is that the clause that you see here in red is not connected to the immediate clause above it. The clause in red, it is a general clause stating, giving us to understand when we are to celebrate our Sabbath. Okay? And we're going to point that out in the Hebrew in just a second. But it says it's talking about a specific Sabbath at the top of the verse, and then it mentions a generality, an all-inclusive statement on the bottom. So again, the top says, and it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. Now, we're going to point out some things, but remember that. Ye shall afflict your souls. Remember that. Ye shall afflict your souls. That's going to come back up, and that's very important. Ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day. So notice we're being very specific, because we're talking about a specific feast where you're going to afflict your souls. Let me let the cat out the bag right away. You don't afflict your soul for every Shabbat. You don't afflict your soul during every feast. But there is a particular feast that you do afflict your soul for. Okay? But all of the Shabbats are to be done from even unto even. Now, I know that there are some people that say, well, no, Shabbat is actually from Saturday morning to the end of Saturday night. I disagree with that, and we're going to just discover why. We're going to talk about why in just a second. But for now, let's move forward, because we want to take a look at this in the Hebrew. Now, in the Hebrew, you will notice that the beginning of the Hebrew states, it says, Shabbat Shabbaton. Shabbat Shabbaton. Okay? Now, I want you to look at it this way. Shabbat is Shabbat, but the Shabbaton are the specifics of that particular Shabbat. Let me give you an example. If we are in the Feast of Trumpets, if we're in the Feast of Trumpets, then the Shabbaton is going to be the blowing of the trumpet. It is the specific thing that you're going to be doing that's different than any other particular activity in that particular Shabbat. Okay? Again, if this is the Feast of Trumpets, then the Shabbaton would cover the blowing of the shofar, right? If it is us being in booths for Sukkot, then the Shabbaton is us being in the booth. So whatever the special item is, now this is the way I like to think of it, and I'm giving it to you so that perhaps it will help to make sense. Because when you talk about the Shabbaton, it is the specific particular item or the special thing that you're doing in that particular Shabbat feast. Now, even the regular Shabbat, the weekly Shabbat, it has a Shabbaton, and that Shabbaton is not doing anything at all. Resting, chilling, right? Meditating on Him, studying, so forth and so on. That is what it is, right? So every particular Shabbat has a Shabbaton, right? And it reads, it says, Shabbat Shabbaton, right? Hu lekem. So in other words, you shall Sabbath your Shabbaton, okay, unto you. You're going to Sabbath that in the way that I'm telling you to Shabbaton, right? And then it says, Ve'enaitem, in other words, you're going to afflict your souls, et nefeshtikim, you're going to afflict your souls, the tav, the herek, and the yod, that's the plural, your souls, and then the kaf and the mem sofit at the end, that's you all, that's you plural, that's the second person plural. So it's saying that you all are going to afflict your souls in this particular Shabbaton that's held in this Shabbat. In order for you to do a Shabbaton, you got to have a Shabbat. So in Shabbat, you will have a Shabbaton, and in this particular feast, the Shabbaton is you afflicting your own souls. Okay? Now, I want you to notice the beginning of the second line. Okay? And it says, Beteshua, so in other words, Betishah. So on the 9th, Le Chodesh, 9th of the month, and it says, in the evening, that's when you're going to do it. And then this is another clause. This is the end clause that we're talking about. Now, I just want to point it out to you. It says, Me'erev, from evening, Ad, you have the ayin and you have the dalet, right? Ad Arev. So from evening until evening, notice that next word at the end, second line, far left, Tish Batu. You are going to Shabbat. Okay? This is instructions. He's saying you are going to Shabbat, your Shabbat, from evening to evening. So it says, from evening unto evening, you, future tense, you are going to Shabbat, your Shabbat, your collective Shabbats. Now, it didn't say aleh, as in this Shabbat, or this particular feast, or this particular moed. No, it's saying that you are going to Shabbat, your Shabbat, from evening unto evening, period. Okay? From evening unto evening. So, this is a blanketed instruction of when we are to have our Shabbats. Now, some may point out, well, in between the first Be'erev, which is the third word to the left on the second line, just above me. See, right up there, see that? That Be'erev, that's Beit, Ayin, Resh, Beit, Be'erev, it's telling them that you're going to do this on the 9th day of the month in the evening. Now, in between that word and the next, that begins with Mem, Ayin, Resh, and Bet, it's giving you instructions, again, on how to Shabbat. Now, some will say, well, no, that's all a part of the same clause, okay? And I would argue with you that, no, it is not. Some people would suggest, well, you see, you don't have a pasek there. A pasek it's like a straight line. It's like a bar, right? It's just a bar. And it does separate words. But you only use the pasek when you have a word ending in the same letter or consonant that it begins with. So in other words, if there was a M sofit and a mem sofit and a mem, there would be a bar there in order for there to be separation so that who's ever reading it does not get those two mems mixed up. Because sometimes in Hebrew you can have double mems, but that's a whole nother story. You can have double letters in a word, and so the reason why they do that is because they used to use a writing style that had no spaces at all. All the words would just be lined up together, letter after letter after letter, okay? And except for the sofits, which are the letters that have special endings, you would not know what's what. Okay, so when a word ended in the same letter that the next word began with, they would put that bar there. But you don't need that bar here, because guess why? It's because, as I've already pointed out, at the end of Be'erev, which is the third word on the second line from the right going to the left, The be'erev, it ends in a bait, but it begins in a mem. So you don't need that bar there, because again, you only use the bar when it ends in the same letter and begins with the same letter. So this is a separate clause. It is something that is separate. We begin our Shabbat from Friday evening to Saturday evening, right? So now we're in the beginning of we're in the beginning of Sunday. Right? Because Saturday is technically over where I'm at. It is already dark, it's already evening. And in fact, when I get done with this, I got to go put the chickens back in their coop because it's done. They've come back home to roost. It's dark outside. They're getting ready for bed. They're perhaps putting on their little pajamas. And I got to go tuck the chickens in because Shabbat is over. So this is actually the beginning of Saturday, or Sunday. I keep saying that. It's the beginning of Sunday. But let's move it forward. So we do observe Shabbat from evening unto evening. And the Lord spake unto Moshe, Leviticus 23, 1-3, and Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feasts. Notice there's feasts, plural. The feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Holy convocations. There's a hint there. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. So the Shabbaton is about rest. Okay? It is a Sabbath of rest. Usually in the description, like if it's a Sabbath of rest or it's the Feast of Trumpets, then you know that the Shabbaton is the trumpet. If it's a Sukkot, you know that the Shabbaton is the booths, and so forth and so on. Right? 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. So notice, that's it for this. Boom. You rest, you chill. That's it, right? We focus, we turn our minds toward Him, we meditate, we study, we sing, we relax, and we just keep it moving. Now, as you're going to see a little bit later, unless you are a minister in the kingdom, unless you're a minister, then of course, rather than you resting, you may have to do some work like I am on Shabbat, right? Because I'm a teacher, I'm a minister unto the people, and so I'm fulfilling a priest-like duty by teaching the truths, right? By teaching Torah, by teaching Tanakh, by teaching our people. And of course, this is of course ministry. So I do some work on Shabbat, but it's a holy work. So Shabbat is a time of visiting and receiving visitors. And he said, 2 Kings 4:23, this is when the Shunammite woman, this is this is when the woman who had the son who fell sick after Elijah came and blessed her and said, you're going to have a child, so forth and so on. He fell sick. So she's getting ready to hop into her BMW that day. She's going to ride the donkey, and she's going to go and she's going to find the man of God. But her husband says, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? In other words, why are you leaving home to go to the man of God? It is neither new moon nor Shabbat. So if it was new moon or Shabbat, she would be going from where she is, and she would be going to a place where the people of God would meet. So it is a time for visitation. It is a time for getting together. Family can come over, right? And listen. There are some who say that you should not drive. Now, that is a rabbinical mandate that say that you should not drive. Of course, they did not have cars, but if you take a look at this particular verse of Scripture, you'll see that this woman, she was going to the man of God, right? And apparently back then in that day, it was not wrong to travel on Shabbat. I'm just saying, look at the Scriptures, it's right there. But she said, it's all well, okay? So she left and she went to go find the man of God, and that's the end of that. Selling and buying is forbidden on Shabbat, okay? Now, except for a life-threatening issue. If there's something that's life-threatening, all of the laws basically go out of the window. Because how can you observe the law if you're dead? So, you're actually preserving the law by preserving your life by doing what you have to on Shabbat. Okay? If you got to preserve your life, you got to preserve your life. Keep it moving. But when you get out of your predicament, know that selling and buying is forbidden on the Shabbat. Right? Yes, that includes Amazon. Amos 8 and 5. When will the new moon be gone? Because I want to buy some. That we may sell corn in the Shabbat, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great. You cheating thing, you. And falsifying the balances by deceit. That's what's in the people's hearts. And the prophet said, nope, you shouldn't be doing that. But notice, they were saying, man, when this new moon is done and when the Shabbat is done, we gonna make some money. And that's what they were about. But that is not to be done. Shabbat is a time of celebration. Okay? Isaiah 1 and 13. Bring no more vain oblations and incense. It's an abomination to me. Why does he say that? Because they had oblations or wine in the midst. They had incense in the midst, right? And it was either the new moon or the Sabbath. And they were calling an assembly together. So you had a bunch of people together. You had wine, right? And you had incense. Sounds like a party to me, right? All somebody had to do is go to the local KFC or Popeyes and get some chicken, get a bunch of 2 pieces and a biscuit, and maybe some, some rice and beans, and it's a party. Give you some music, get you a lyre and some drums out there. Yeah, you set, you good. Because they were coming together and they were making merry, right? But he says, I cannot deal with it, away with it. Why? Because you have iniquity in your heart. Therefore, your meetings, when you come together, they are also tainted. Moving forward, Hosea 2 and 13. And I will visit upon her days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense. Here we go again. Got incense, right? She decked herself with earrings and her jewels. So for Shabbat, you should deck yourself out, right? You should deck yourself out. Now, when I was in the Christian church, I would wake up. I would wake up very early in the morning. Sometimes, a lot of times, 5 a.m. or earlier, and I would shower, put on a suit, put on some cologne like I was going to church on Sunday morning just to go pray, because it was something that I was doing, I thought, unto the Lord my God. And that's where my heart was. But here in the scriptures, we see that we should do that even for Shabbat. We should go ahead and put our earrings on. And there's a particular place in Isaiah where it talks about, the bucklers and the wooflers and the bump. I mean, it almost sounds like a Dr. Seuss, it sounds like part of a Dr. Seuss book, because they're talking about all of these different things that the individuals have on, these women and men have on. They've got earrings and nose rings and ankle bracelets and wooflers and bufflers and all kind of flips and flaps and bells and whistles. But hey, get decked out, right? Get decked out for the Most High, right? Get decked out for. And of course, he's pleased. Now, for the Shabbat, no work includes carrying anything of sizable weight in or out of the house. Now, we'll talk about having to work in just a minute, but no work means, hey, don't carry anything big, don't carry anything out of the house, don't carry anything big into the house. Notice what it reads, Jeremiah 17, and notice how important this is. Now, notice how important this is. Jeremiah 17, verses 19 through 24. Thus saith Yahweh unto me, go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Judah come in, and by the which they go out, and in all of the gates of Jerusalem, and say unto them, hear ye the word of the Lord, ye kings of Judah, and all of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates. Verse 21, thus saith Yahweh, take heed to yourselves, take heed unto yourselves. You're treating it lightly, but it's not a light thing. And bear no burden on Shabbat. Don't bear any burden on Shabbat. You're supposed to not have any burdens, right? Don't bear any burden out of your house, right? And on Shabbat day, neither do ye any work. Don't do nothing. But hallow ye the Shabbat, as I commanded your fathers. Hallow ye the Sabbath day, Shabbat, as I commanded your fathers. Verse number 23. But they obeyed not. They said, nah, we'll pass. Neither incline their ears. They didn't incline their ears. But notice what it reads, but they made their necks stiff, that they might not hear nor receive instruction. Verse 24, but it shall come to pass, if ye diligently hearken unto me, saith Yahweh, to bring in no burden. Listen, that's all they had to do. Stop carrying stuff. Stop it. That's all they had to do. But they refused to do that. Why? Because I want to make money. I want to make money. I want to do this. I want to do that. But he said, but if you will hallow the Sabbath day to do no work therein, man, I'm going to set you up. I'm going to set you up. Then shall they enter into the gates of the city, the kings and the princes, and sitting upon the thrones of David, riding in chariots and horses. They're going to have the best to drive in, because that was the best that they had back then. They're going to have the best to drive in. They and their princes, the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city shall remain forever. You will have longevity, you will have peace, you will have prosperity. This city shall remain forever, and they shall come from the city of Judah, and from the places about Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the plain, and from the mountains, and from the south, bringing burnt offerings, bringing burnt offerings, and sacrifices, and meat offerings, and incense, and bringing sacrifices of praise. Let me take a pause here, because it reads, it just reads right there. It says, and bringing sacrifices of praise. I remember being in the Christian church, and we used to sing that song, we bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of the... And see, I always thought that that's what it was. It was a sacrifice of praise. You see, you're praising him, and so it's a sacrifice for you to do that. No. The sacrifice of praise was really the sacrifice of thanksgiving. It was a thanksgiving offering unto the Lord, where you brought an offering unto him that had to be presented to the priest. Okay? But that's the sacrifice of praise. Verse 27, but if ye will not hearken unto me to hallow the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the palace of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched. Now, we're going to discover that they were supposed to either remain home or be in a holy assembly on Shabbat. Okay, but let's continue. No work means no work. That was, you probably know that by now. But anyway, verse number 15, we're going to Nehemiah 13, verses 15 through 17. In those days saw I in Judah, some treading wine on Shabbat, and some bringing in sheaves, and some loading of asses, as also wine and grapes and figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought in to Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they said, wherein they sold victuals, okay, selling food, selling plates, making money, right? Verse 16, there dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish. Man, they was having fish fries and everything. And I bet they had big tubs of hot sauce. Man, they were partying. And all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, if y'all don't get out of here with all of that. No, he didn't say that. But he said, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day? Now, I want you to pay attention to this. He said, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day? Now listen, I know many of us, you'd be like, it ain't that deep, is it really? It's not that deep. I just carried something in. I just, went to the local to get me, a fried catfish sandwich. We ain't supposed to be eating that anyway. I just went, is it really that deep? Yes, it's that deep. It's very deep. Because what you're doing is, first of all, you're supposed to be with, again, sharing the Shabbat of Yahweh. You're sharing his time. You're sharing not just his time and his Shabbat, but you're sharing what he is doing in that season. You're sharing his existence. And you're being how he is being. So for any of us to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do my own thing. And again, we'll talk about working and having to work, because sometimes I have to work because I'm under contract and I can't get out of it. It was something that began over 30 years ago before I was Hebrew. Okay. And hey, I mean, do I quit? You know, I mean, yeah, if I have to provide for my family, right? You have to provide for your family. So yeah, I mean, sometimes yeah, you do have. Now I've spoken with my supervisors, I've spoken with them, and one hinted at me, well, you know, you do that, you know, you're not going to have a job. Now, if I had another one, right, you know, if I had one waiting, yeah, then I could say, you know what, that's fine, right? Or if I was making enough money to be able to be like, hey, I'm done. You know, I'd love to be able to do that. I'm done. I can just focus on, you know, writing and studying and teaching and doing lessons for the family and continuing to work on things for the family. I would love that, right? But I'm not there right now. And our Elohim knows how to bless me, so until he blesses me, then hey, then we're going to be dealing with what we're dealing with. So it's important for us to understand that sometimes you do have to work, right? Sometimes you do. But here's the issue. Here's the issue. What do you do when you don't have to work and you do have an opportunity to Shabbat? Do you do it then? Or do you just say, well, because I'm working, I may as well go to a football game, basketball game? I mean, not that you know, I'm just saying. I may as well swing from the chandelier, right? Since I'm working, I may as well swing from the chandelier. Or do you get off of work and you settle yourself as if it is Shabbat? And of course, by it being still Shabbat, do you get off of work and do you practice what you can? That's what I'm trying to ask. Okay, rhetorical. Do you practice what you can? Right? In other words, when you are coloring outside the lines, is it only what they are making you do, or do you just go ahead and really pour it on? Well, you know, I already went to work, so I may as well build this house over here on Shabbat. Nah. No, sir. No, ma'am. All right, so he says, what evil thing is this that you do by profaning the Shabbat? So it's evil to profane the Shabbat, because you are taking our Elohim out of his element. His element is that of resting, not a physical rest, but a rest that is spiritual. A rest that is spiritual, where, and let me touch upon this real quick. We got a long way to go, but let me touch upon this. When it reads in Genesis that the Most High, that he rested, he wasn't resting his body, but he was resting and settling into his position as ruler, as he who is ruling over the heavens and the earth, and he was moving into the ministry phase of what he was doing instead of creating, right? And so this is why we take time and we enter in with him. And it's on Shabbat that we take steps closer to being those who have dominion and those who begin to rule the earth, because that's when you rule. You begin ruling on the seventh day. Up until the seventh day, you're constructing, you're putting together, you're arranging, you're organizing, you're doing all the muscular, strong work, you're doing all the bull work. But on the seventh day is when you begin to rule. That's when you begin to reign. Why do you think it is that in the sabbatical year, right, you receive back everything that you originally had? Why do you think it is? Listen, it's not just to heal the economy, even though it does heal the economy. But listen. If someone had land and they lost that land, and on the sabbatical year, it was given back to them. Now they can be the Lord over the land and begin to rule over the land as they once were. In other words, in every area where an individual receives on the sabbatical year or even in Shabbat, you're getting something with which to rule with. Okay? You're getting something to rule with. You enter into your ruling and you're taking dominion in Shabbat. So then when you refuse to cooperate with Shabbat, you're shooting your own self in the foot. You're cutting your own throat, because it is where you reign. And each time you take a Shabbat, you come a step closer to ruling more and more and more. Okay? So it's evil to profane the Shabbat. Now he says, didn't your fathers do the same thing and bring evil upon us? Like, can't we please learn a lesson, people? Can't we please learn a lesson? Do we not know that this is so important, that this is the reason why we're in exile? Can we not listen? Notice an idol was not even mentioned in this passage of Scripture. Listen, idolatry is one thing, but when people are trying to put more money in their pockets so that they can get the next biggest, the next best, the next longest, bigger house, bigger whatever, yeah. I understand. It's attractive. You want it. I know, right? We all want to prosper. But you have to give unto Yahweh what he deserves and what he desires, which is your attention, is all of your being on the seventh day of the week. Right? It is the reason why we are in exile. Listen, idolatry is a whole other issue. In other words, you can be put in exile for not obeying the Shabbat. We can be put in exile for not obeying the Shabbat. That is an important point, so we need to do it right. We need to do it correctly. Nehemiah 13:19-22, and it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Shabbat, I commanded, Nehemiah says, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and I charged that they should not be open till after the Shabbat, and some of my servants set I at the gates. I gave them a charge. Now wait a minute, it's Shabbat, and I've told my servants to guard the gates, so they're working. We'll talk about that. And there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath, right? So the merchants and the sellers of all kinds of ware lodge outside of Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why, listen, please pay attention to this, to the next couple of sentences. Why lodge you about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you. Nehemiah said, I'm about to put these hands on you. You do this again, trying to sell stuff to the people of God on Shabbat, I'm about to put these hands on you. From that time forth came they no more. They're like, oh, I don't want none of Nehemiah. From that time came they forth no more on Shabbat. And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Shabbat day. Remember me, O God, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy. Now, the reason why Nehemiah mentions that last clause, he says, remember me and have mercy upon me, because he had to put people to work in order to sanctify the Shabbat. So in other words, he put people to work in order to keep or to guard the law. Okay? And of course, it was allowed. It was allowed. So therefore, priests, or those who are ministers, they do bear a charge. They bear a charge, which may require them to work, but it's ministry work. Now, wait a minute. I know you might say, well, me working a regular job on Shabbat, I'm ministering to my family. No. Yes, more money does help. Yeah, I know. But if you are just working a regular job and the supervisor says, you want to work some overtime? I know how tempting the extra money can be. I know. I get it. But are you trusting that J-O-B, or are you trusting the Most High? I'd rather trust the Most High myself, right? Except, listen, anytime that it is Shabbat, I don't want to work. I try to get people to work for me, right? Because I don't want to do it. And yeah, there's no such thing as extra money. Like my daughter came up to me one time, she said, Dad, you got any extra money? I'm like, there is no such thing. I got, it's like, no, there is no such thing as extra money. Ezekiel 45 and 17. Ezekiel 45 and 17. It reads, and it shall be the prince's part to give burnt offerings and meat offerings and drink offerings in the feast and in the new moons and in the Shabbats on all solemn assemblies of the house of Israel. And he shall prepare the sin offering and the meat offering and the burnt offering and the peace offering to make reconciliation for the house of Israel. Now, wait a minute. Yeah, exactly, my brother. My brother Bergen Paris says, if you are working by choice, you are wrong. Exactly. That's a nice, succinct way to say what I was going on and on about. But yes, that's it, exactly. So notice here in Ezekiel 45 and 17, I want to point something out. That when it talks about the prince, it's talking about the messianic figure, the Messiah of the last days. And it mentions here that he is going to prepare on Shabbat and on the new moons, he is going to prepare the burnt offerings and the meat offerings and the drink offerings, right? And he's going to prepare all of these different offerings so that the house of Israel can be reconciled. So there is no way that this is JC, because Christianity says that he is the eternal, he is the ever-perpetuating sacrifice, right? But no, we see here the Messiah figure, the prince, is the one who's going to prepare the animal sacrifices, which will be reinstituted, okay? And the Zadokite Levite priesthood is also going to be reinstituted. And that's just simply that. So there's no way. Listen, I used to be afraid to almost not agree with everything that Christianity says. But listen, the more you dig into Scripture, the more you see that Christianity is wrong. Ezekiel 46, almost done. Ezekiel 46, 4 and 5. And the burnt offering that the prince shall offer unto the Lord, unto Yahweh, in the Sabbath day, shall be 6 lambs. And again, I'm reading this to let you know that if you're in ministry, then you're going to be required to minister unto others on Shabbat. Yes, you will get some time to relax, but at the same time, you will be called to work and to minister and to prepare on Shabbat. That's my reason for reading this, okay? And so the prince is the messianic figure in Ezekiel. The latter part of the chapters, this is the Messiah that everyone is waiting for, okay? And it's also written in there, I believe it is Ezekiel, the 46 and 22, I want to say, 22, 24, where he is going to offer a burnt offering for himself, because he's not sinless, and the Messiah is going to offer a burnt offering for his children. So in other words, he's going to have a wife, and they're going to actually have children the normal way. All right? So he's going to be a very real person. Leviticus 24 and 8, every Shabbat he shall set it in order before Yahweh continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant. This is an everlasting covenant that will never end. There will always be animal sacrifices. There will always be temple sacrifices. And that's just simply the way that it is. So there's no way that JC can be the eternal sacrifice, because the Scriptures do not agree with that. Continuing forward, 1 Chronicles 9 and 32. And other of the brethren of the sons of the Kohathites were over the shewbread to prepare it every Shabbat. So they were in ministry, so they had to work. I just want you to get used to the idea. Okay? Also, there were offerings done every Shabbat. Let me move forward. Security and national security issues are permitted on Shabbat. I'll say it again. Security and national security issues are permitted on Shabbat. Look at 2 Kings 11, 4 through 8. And the 7th year, Jehoiada sent and fetched the rulers over hundreds with the captains and the guards, and brought them to him in the house of Yahweh, and made a covenant with them, and took an oath of them in the house of Yahweh, and showed them the king's son. Verse number 5, and he commanded them, saying, this is the thing that ye shall do. A third part of you that enter in on Shabbat shall even be keepers of the watch of the king's house. So in other words, you're able to do security, okay? And a third part shall be at the gate of Sur, right? And he continues talking, but this is all going on Shabbat, all right? This is all going on Shabbat, verse 7. And two parts of you all, that go forth on the Shabbat, even they shall keep the watch of the house of Yahweh about the king, and ye shall compass the king round about, every man with his weapon in his hand, and he that cometh within the ranges, let him be slain. So in other words, you may have to deal with somebody on Shabbat. Okay? So it's very serious. If you are working for the kingdom, you may have to do security, and yes, it is serious. Shabbat is pre-Sinai and perpetual and forever. Okay? It's forever. Exodus 31, 16 through 17. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Shabbat, to observe the Shabbat throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. You got Shabbat forever. There will never be a time when there is not Shabbat. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. Notice what that reads. It is a sign. It is a sign of our covenant. It's a sign of our togetherness. It's a sign of our oneness. It's a sign that you belong to me, I belong to you. It's a sign forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. Okay? Let's continue. Cooking. Cooking is prohibited, but warming is allowed. I'll say it again. Cooking is prohibited, but warming is allowed. Now, wait a minute. Why is cooking prohibited? Because it says, you shall not kindle a fire. Now, wait a minute. I want to say something here that may shock some of you. Kindling a fire is not turning on your stove. Kindling a fire is not turning on the microwave. Can I give you one more? Striking a match is not kindling a fire, even though it could apply if you're lighting an actual bonfire. But I'm just saying, here is what kindling a fire is. When you kindle a fire, you are working hard. You are working hard at kindling, okay? And this is the work that our Elohim does not want us to do. This is kindling a fire. That's a lot of work. Now, if you notice, he started out the scene, but then had to go back and go someplace else because he was working so hard. And I bet you he's sweating real hard. But long story short, this is how you kindle a fire. And this is what we are not supposed to be doing. All right? My brother says, Exodus 20, it's the longest commandment and the only one that says remember. Yes. Remember the Shabbat to keep it holy. Remember, okay? So let's continue forward. This is what you're not supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be kindling a fire. Exodus 16, 22 through 25. And it shall come to pass that on the sixth day they shall gather twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man, and all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses, and he said unto them, this is that which Yahweh hath said, tomorrow is the rest. So this is a regular weekday Shabbat. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Shabbat unto Yahweh. Bake that ye will bake today, and sieve or boil that you're going to boil. In other words, cook whatever it is that you are going to cook, and that which remains over, lay it up for you to keep until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade, and it did not stink, neither was there any worms therein. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto Yahweh, the day ye shall not find it in the field. Okay? You should not find it in the field today. So cook that you're going to cook. Now, once it's cooked, you can go ahead and warm it up all day long because you can't cook it. It's already cooked. Okay? So anything that you can just warm up and eat, you can warm up and eat. But you are not to cook because you have to kindle a fire, right? Because they didn't have what we have. If they could have just turned on a stove and not have done all that work. See, the thing of it is not to work. Don't get yourself working. Chill, relax. Did you see that guy with that piece of wood? He's with that piece of wood. I know he's huffing and puffing. I know he's huffing and puffing. No, the Most High does not want you to work that hard because you're entering into His rest. Everything should be prepared in advance. Now, what I will do on Shabbat, because usually what I'm doing, if sometimes, especially when it gets closer, like in the fall and closer towards winter, I will take a Friday off. If I got vacation days, I will take Friday off, so that by the time evening comes, I will be in Shabbat mode, with stuff already prepared. Now, if you're smart, if you're wise, and if you know how you are, and if you know how your schedule is, then you start preparing early. Okay? Start preparing early. Because Shabbat, again, is Friday evening until Saturday evening, right? So you know that food is going to keep in your refrigerator for more than, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, right? Food can keep in your refrigerator. I know some people are like, well, if it's 2 days old, okay. Then you prepare everything on Thursday. That's fine. But for the rest of us, you can start early, right? Just make a menu. I know, make a menu. And then just nickel and dime it until you get it done before Shabbat. And that way everything's ready. You don't have to run around at the last minute. Make sure you go and you buy you a couple bottles of wine. Make sure that you go and you buy some snacks and some food and so forth and so on. Because it is supposed to be a time of celebration. And make sure that you get a little bit more than just for you and the family, because it's a time for visitors. It's a time for visitation. It's a time for fun. It's a time for communing together, right? It's a time for experiencing heaven on earth. That's what Shabbat's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a little bit of heaven on earth. So, do what you're going to do, because when Shabbat comes, all you can do is warm it up. All you can do is warm it up. All right? Now, I know some people, when Shabbat comes, they won't even warm anything up. They're like, look, I'm only doing salads and fruit. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. I'm not knocking it, right? But hey, there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with, making yourself a breakfast that you warm up on Shabbat morning. If you have an automatic coffee pot, yes, go ahead and program that. Do that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. All right? So let's keep it moving. So no grocery shopping on Shabbat. And that means Amazon too. Why? Because you're not supposed to conduct commerce on Shabbat. That's not the purpose of Shabbat, right? Investing and buying stocks and buying anything is not what Shabbat is for. It will be there tomorrow. It'll be there on the next day, right? No grocery shopping on Shabbat. Exodus 16:26. It reads, 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the seventh day, which is Shabbat, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the seventh day for to gather. Don't go to the grocery store on Shabbat. Don't do that. They went out and they didn't find anything. And Yahweh said unto Moses, now, please pay attention to this. And Moshe said, Yahweh said unto Moshe, how long refuse ye to keep my commandment and my laws? I wonder if everyone sees that. There were people that were going out. And see, this is the way that the Most High thinks about Shabbat. And He thinks about us as a people, right? He thinks about us in terms of wholeness. Some people decided to go out and go grocery shopping on Shabbat. And Yahweh said unto Moses, how long do you refuse to keep my commandments? Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that it is our responsibility to admonish one another. Those who call themselves Hebrews, it is our duty. We're obligated to admonish them and to help them to color in the lines. Don't go grocery shopping. Don't carry anything, because we're all going to be blamed for it. We're all going to be blamed for it. Jeremiah the 17th chapter that we've already read, not following Shabbat will cause you to be thrown into exile. And we've just done 400 years. Do you think we want to go back? The Most High is not playing. The Most High is very serious. So let's make sure that we are making sure that we help our brothers and our sisters to stay in line. And this is community. This is what it's all about. This is community, right? Now, there's another clause here that I want to deal with, okay? Verse number 29. So, for that Yahweh have given you the Shabbat, therefore he gives you on the 6 days the bread of 2 days. On the 6th day he'll give you the bread of 2 days because of their way of gathering, right? Doesn't mean that for Shabbat Eve you're going to make twice as much money. No, they didn't have the kind of system that we have. They were going out into the fields and gathering. Remember, that's the context of this next clause and of the rest of this verse. They were going out gathering, okay? I call it going to the grocery store, but they went out to the field to gather manna. He says, abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. In other words, stay home. But it's in context. Because again, visiting and going to the Holy Assembly, that is permitted. You can't do that and stay home at the same time. Unless you have it in your house. I mean, I'm sorry. So, the people are to rest on the 7th day, which means you don't go grocery shopping. That's all that's saying. You don't go grocery shopping. Shabbat comes with a promise. Oh, we're almost done. That is if we obey. But Shabbat comes with a promise. Now, there's some shockers in this for people that think that only Israelites can be saved. I'm just giving you the heads up. Isaiah 56, 2 through 5. Blessed is the man that doth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it, that keeps the Sabbath, that keeps from polluting it, and keepeth his hands from doing any evil. Verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, because I am a dry tree, I ain't got nobody, I ain't got nothing. No, he says, look, verse number 4. For thus says Yahweh unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbath. Listen, keeping the Sabbath is most important to the Most High, because no matter what your condition is, he will bring you into a place of blessing and prosperity because you keep Shabbat, not because you work an extra day, not because you put in some more overtime. He could easily blow on that, and what you thought you had, you don't have. Honor him and keep the Shabbat and trust in Yahweh our Elohim. Okay? For thus, verse 4, for thus said Yahweh unto the eunuchs that keep my Shabbat, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant, even unto them will I give in mine house, and within my walls a place, and a name better than the name of sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off or not done. Also, the sons of the stranger. I haven't forgotten you, stranger. If you join yourselves unto Yahweh to serve him, and to love the name of Yahweh, to be his servant, everyone that keepeth Shabbat from polluting it, and taking hold of my covenant, even them will I bring to my holy mountain. Now, wait a minute, that's important. I'm going to bring them to my holy mountain, because the holy mountain is the place and the motif of the B'nai Elohim, the sons of the Most High. So in other words, I'm going to bring you to the place where sons gather. right? The B'nai Elohai. I'm going to bring you into that collective. I'm going to bring you where they are. You're coming to the mountain of God because you keep the Sabbath. That is important. So you can see how important keeping the Sabbath is, that even the stranger is going to get to come to the mountain of God. And even the eunuchs that don't have children will be honored as if they did have children and have a place with the Most High. Because they keep the Sabbath and they keep the covenant. That's how important keeping the Sabbath is. That's how important keeping the covenant is, right? So let's move. Let's move on. Now, even them will I, verse 7, even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in mine house, my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings, again, there's always going to be burnt offerings in the kingdom and the system that our Elohim has set up. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar, for mine house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. It shall be called a house of prayer for all people, right? For everyone. This is the ministry of Israel. This is what we're here for. We are the ministers. We are the priests unto the other nations, right? To bring them into the Most High. Shabbat. Oh, we're almost to the end. Shabbat is spiritual warfare. What? Yes. Shabbat is spiritual warfare. And it's the target that the wicked greatly desire. Everything that I've just read, you can see how important Shabbat is. No wonder it is the target of the enemy. So let's talk about it real quick. I want you to read something here. Notice what it reads in Daniel 7, verses 24 and 25. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first. He's going to be a different kind of king, a different kind of ruler. But he's still going to arise. He's going to be different from the first. He's not going to rule like the other ones did. He's got a different way of ruling. But he's going to subdue 3 other kings, right? And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until the time and times and the dividing of time. So, notice what it reads. That there's going to come one that's different. He's different than all those other kings. He's not like them. In other words, he rules differently. He's got a different method. He's got a different mannerism about him. But what he's going to end up doing is he's going to end up changing times and changing laws. Now, we all know who this is. But notice some of the minutes from the Council of Laodicea in 364 CE. Christians shall not Judaize and be idle on Saturday or Shabbat, but shall work on that day. Do you hear? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? But they shall work on that day. They're mandating that you work on that day. I told you, it's warfare. When you get into Shabbat, it's warfare. It's world system against world system. It's clashing against those that are coming against you. But the Lord's day, they should listen. Notice what he's saying. But the Lord's day. Now, who are they calling the Lord? Because apparently, if you are not if you are not keeping Shabbat, if you're not keeping Shabbat, but then you say, but on the Lord's day, then who is your Lord if you're not keeping Shabbat? If your Lord has another day other than that which is written in Scripture, then what Lord are you serving? Okay? What Lord are you serving? What Lord have you given yourself unto? Okay? From the Council of Laodicea, it reads, but you're going to work on that day, on Shabbat, but the Lord's day, you're going to especially honor that. You're going to honor that. Not only are you going to honor it, but you're going to honor it especially. Because they were worshiping Mithras. okay, which was a sun god, which ties you into the paganism of Egypt, and and all of that. I don't want to see. I can start talking about that, but let me not. But bottom line of it is, Mithras was the god that Constantine the First worshipped, and that's why Sunday was chosen, because they literally worship the sun, right? So that's, listen, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But notice what it reads here. If possible, do no work on that day. If, however, in other words, we're worshiping the sun, so you're gonna worship on Sunday, because it's the sun's day, so you're going to worship on Sunday. If, however, they are found Judaizing, meaning keeping Shabbat, they shall be shut out from Christ. What in the frog legs did you say? They shall be shut out from Christ. So then who then is Christ? Wait a minute. You gotta see this. So who then is Christ really? Who then is Jesus really? Who then is Christ really? If you cannot belong to Christ or Jesus or JC and keep Shabbat, even though in the scriptures, I should say the New Testament scriptures or the Christian scriptures, he did keep Shabbat. He did follow the law. Then what God are you worshiping? And what God have you superimposed on top of the God of Israel? What are you doing? And there are Christians that will swear up and down. No, one day is as good as another. And it doesn't matter what you put in your body, because it's all good, if you sanctify it by the word of God and prayer. Wait a minute. The sanctification by the word of God is in Leviticus, the 11th chapter. Also the 17th chapter a little bit. And it's sanctified because of clean and unclean. What are you talking about? Right? But they said, you're going to be cut off from Christ if you're found Judaizing. If you keep the Shabbat, you're going to be cut off from Christ? Really? Well, I don't want that Christ. I want no part of that Christ. Right? I want no part of that Christ where you cannot keep the scriptures. I don't want any part of that Christ. And listen, there are people that swear up and down that there's no problem with worshiping on Sunday. In fact, there's people that feel like, if you worship on Sunday, man, that's great. But if you don't, you're a sinner. You're just a sinner. See, I used to do it. When I was in the Christian church, I'd see people walking around on Sunday, chilling. Be like, man, sinners. They're just a bunch of sinners. They don't love the Lord. They're a bunch of sinners. Man, I was the one that was sinning. Let me calm down. Woosa. Council of Laodicea 364. Council of Laodicea 364. They shall be shut out from Christ. Well, I want no part of that Christ. You want me to listen? Keeping Shabbat is so important to the Most High. He mandates that we do it and that we do it right. So then for us not to keep Shabbat and to worship on Sunday is a sin. It is a crime against the Most High. So all of that is fake. It's false. All of your religion is fake and false. Mr. and Mrs. Christian, you need to know this. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to save your soul. I am saved. No. Listen, you are in bed with the beast and don't realize it. You are in bed with the wicked. You are in bed with the beast. And we're going to show you. We're going to show you. Come on. Keep looking. Keep your eyes open. Here we go. Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. I'm sorry, I gotta just. My brother Bergen Paris says, BC. Maybe it should really stand for before confusion. And AD, after deception. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Wow. High five to my brother Burton Paris. BC before confusion and AD after deception. Yes. 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 Because listen, those of you that, and see, I feel for my brothers, I feel for my sisters who feel like they're saved and they're on their way to heaven. They have been hoodwinked, they've been bamboozled, they've been lied to, they've been run amok. They have been fooled. Okay? Let's keep it moving. I want you to see something. We're almost done. Notice what it reads here. In the Decretal de Translatic Episcope. Okay? The Pope has power to change times, to abrogate laws, and to dispense with all things, even the precepts of Christ. The Pope has authority and has often exercised it to dispense with the command of Christ. See, y'all in trouble. You guys are in trouble. But wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. Cardinal Gibbons, in Faith of Our Fathers, the 92nd edition, page 89, he freely admits, you may read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, and you will not find a single line authorizing the sanctification of Sunday. The scriptures enforce the religious observance of Saturday, a day which we, the Catholic Church, never sanctify. They are of the beast. Point blank and simple. They are of the beast. And I'm sorry, I gotta say it, I gotta be real. To hell with any system that does not follow the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. I know it may make you feel comfortable, it may make you feel good. It's what you were brought up in, I get it. But understand, open up your eyes and see and read the word of our Elohim, read the word of the Lord. Listen, many of you are talking about, well, you see, no, the Apostle Paul said that you, listen, you really are really confused because you say that Jesus the Christ is the one that you follow and that he is your Lord, but yet every time it comes for you to defend something, you end up saying Paul, but Paul said this and Paul said that. Are you a Christian or are you a Paulian? Are you a Christian or are you a Paulian? You are a Paulian, right? And Paul ain't gonna do nothing for you. He can't do anything for you. So repent and believe upon the scriptures, believe the Most High, and worship him and follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. By worshiping on Sunday, you are wrong. By worshiping on Sunday, you err. By worshiping on Sunday, you have placed your well-being and your spiritual well-being in jeopardy. You need to know what you've done. I can't sugarcoat it. You need to know what the truth is. And the truth is, you put your butt in the vice. You're in hot water because you have believed the Catholic Church and you believe the Apostle Paul rather than believing the very one that you say is your Lord. You are wrong. And you've been made to feel comfortable in it. And you've done it for so long, but you are wrong. Let's keep it moving. Again, the Catholic Church, by virtue of her divine mission, again, what God are you serving? That it's a divine mission. Change the day from Saturday to Sunday. Change the day from Saturday to Sunday. This comes from the Catholic Mirror, the official publication of James Cardinal Gibbon, September 23rd, 1893. He told the truth in 1893, September 23rd. He told the truth. Says we don't ever make that day holy. But we change it. We change it. Oh, and here's one. Oh, my goodness. Now, listen, this goes for every tongue-talking, every Pentecostal, every Protestant church, every missionary hat wearing, every Reverend Fatback, missionary good little, everybody with their collar turned over around backwards. This goes for you. Protestants do not realize that by observing Sunday, they accept the authority of the spokesperson of the church, the Pope. So you have parked your feet under the Pope's table. You have parked your feet and joined hands with the Catholic Church. And you have actually stood against Yahweh our Elohim. And you have become his enemy because you are worshiping those who are the enemies and are going against his law, statutes, and commandments. The Protestants do not realize. They don't realize it. They don't realize it. Go to any Baptist church, go to any Pentecostal church, go to any church, period, that's meeting on Sunday, and ask them, oh, I didn't know you were Catholic. They'll say, man, we not Catholic, we non-denominational, or we Baptist, or we're this, or we're that. But they don't realize that they have joined hands with the beast, with the Catholic Church. They don't realize it. At one particular point, the Pope said, someone asked the Pope the question, which Pope this was, I forget exactly which one, I think it was Pope John Paul. And they asked him, they said, well, what are we going to do about, the sister churches? Talking about the Protestants and talking about every other denomination that's not Catholic, but that is Christian. He says, well, what are we going to do about the sisters? The Pope said, no. He says, these are not sister churches. These are daughter churches. Telling you that every church that is a Christian church is under the umbrella and the auspices of the Pope and the Catholic Church. I would not want to be named in that number. Let's keep it going. Of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change Saturday Sabbath to Sunday was her act. And the act is a mark of her, what is the mark of the beast? I know people are talking about the hokey poke is the mark of the beast and so forth and so on. Listen, anything that takes you outside of the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and whereby you become identified by it, becomes a mark that identifies you. So there are many marks of the beast. There are many marks. Okay? So let's not look for a particular mark. The main mark of the beast is disobedience to the commandments of the Most High. And if you live like that, and if you walk like that, then yes, you're marked. This is from H.F. Thomas, Chancellor of Cardinal Gibbons, right? And it says, of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change Saturday Sabbath to Sunday was her act, and the act is a mark of her ecclesiastical authority, the authority of the church. Now, let me just throw this in for a second, that the first mention of church in the New Testament scriptures, the first mention of a church, now I'm talking about the word in the Greek, it actually is related to pagan temples. It's actually related to pagan temples. When you understand how the Roman government moved when it came time to deal with people that they've conquered, they embraced a system of syncretizing, right? A system of syncretism that said, if you worship Bullwinkle, the moose, and Rocky the squirrel, we're going to bring in an image of, Bullwinkle the moose and Rocky the squirrel. I'm dating myself. Some of you may not know what that's even about. But let's go back and let's say Tweety Bird and Sylvester, right? If they worship Tweety Bird and Sylvester, the Romans would come and they say, oh, you worship Tweety Bird and Sylvester. Then they would then bring in an image of that and incorporate that into their religious system just to make you feel comfortable, right? It's called syncretism, and that's what they did. And when you take a look at what the Catholic Church did, they were worshiping the sun, but they syncretized the sun into this whole JC figure. And once they did that, those who are pagan could feel comfortable, right? Yeah, Bullwinkle. Sorry about that. Yeah, we are of age. Yeah, Bullwinkle and yeah, man. Used to be, now those were good cartoons back in the days. But anyway, Let's get back to it. Only a couple more slides. The Catholic Church claims that the church is above the Bible. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you read that? The Catholic Church claims that the church is above the Bible. What the? The church is above the Bible, and this transference of Shabbat observance is proof of the fact. So wait. Those that then worship on Sunday, you are actually upholding, you are sustaining, you are enabling, okay? You are condoning the Catholic Church being above the Bible. You are condoning that. You are participating in that. You're helping to uphold it. And this comes from the Catholic Record of London, Ontario, September 1, 1923. My. Deuteronomy 6, 24 and 25. And the Lord Yahweh commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahweh our Elohim, for our good always. The reason why we do Shabbat is for our good. Don't you know how good it is for the Lord our God to say, listen, you got to keep this day. And by the way, what I want you to do on this day is to do nothing but chill. I want you to concentrate on me, or get together with family and love on one another. I want you to help one another. That's what I want you to do on this day. Do you know how much of a blessing that is? All of us as a community blessing and helping one another on Shabbat. This is for our good always. That he might preserve us alive. That he might preserve us alive in this evil time, as it is this day. And it shall be our righteousness. It shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahweh our Elohim, as he has commanded us. It's for our good. Obey. It's for our good. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths, to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am Yahweh the Lord, that sanctify them. I'm the one to sanctify them. By bringing them into my Sabbath, by bringing them into my Shabbat. My brother, my sister, my family, those of you that will see this in the future, it is important for you to keep Shabbat. It is important. Make it a high priority, because it is a high priority with the Most High. Let there be structure to it. Let there be order to it. But by all means, keep it and do it. As my brother Bergen Paris said, it is the only commandment that says to remember, right? It doesn't even say remember to honor your mother and your father, but it does say remember to keep the Sabbath. Honor it, keep it, make it holy. It is of great importance. It is of great importance that we come together and that we join ourselves with the Most High. Listen, for those of you that have the option to stay home on Saturday and not work. Now, after the sun go down on Saturday, hey, Shabbat is over. Go do what you want to do, right? But give unto Yah or Elohim, give him his time. Just come away for a while. Focus on him, relax, and allow yourself to commune with him, and to commune with your family, and to commune with others. Just chill. Think on the deep things of the Word. Study, read, right? It is for our good always. Well, I'm Malkiyyah Uriel, and for those of you that have enjoyed this, I ask you to visit me on the website. A little bit of something that I'm starting to do new is just to make sure that I pump one of the websites And then, of course, for those of you that may want to donate, you can do that on Zelle, Malkiyyah at navibabe.academy. That will help everything that we're doing. That'll help the academy that we're working on. Been working on it for quite a while, for years, and you know, we do need help. Again, with your support, we are able to make some things happen. We're able to continue. There's things so far, everything that has been done. Pretty much, we've had to come out of pocket for it. So your help would be appreciated. If you are so led to do so, by all means, go by the website, and you can contact me there. You can reach out to me through the website. And of course, as always, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And of course, you can be of help to us. Peace and blessings to you. I don't know if there are any questions. I don't know if there are any comments. You know what? What I did not do, excuse me for looking up and away, let me check to see if, let me refresh for Facebook. I don't know if there are any comments, and I don't see any comments on Facebook. Well, thank you, my brother. My brother says, you put in the work today. You might as well have kindled. He says you might as well have kindled the fire. Well, peace and blessings to you, my brother. This is, again, those that are in ministries, they will do some work on Shabbat. And of course, this is what our Elohim has put upon my heart, to really stand on the structure and put it out there as structure, and to really get as many people to understand the depth and the power of Shabbat, but also understand the sincerity and the severity that our Elohim attributes to the Shabbat and how important it is. It's important. But thank you. Oh, Passover date. I am not done with the Passover date. I'm not done with the Passover date, because I want to give you an accurate answer. And so I'm sneaking up on it, I'm coming up on it, but I am not completely finished with that as of yet. But that is a major priority for this week. It is a major priority for this week. I know I'm running late. I need to do more for that, and I will definitely put in some time on that this week. So, but I will contact you, and I'll let you know. I'll let everyone know that I can. So hey, we will definitely do that. Any other questions? And then I think we will. Yeah, we'll pack it up. We'll pack it up. All right. I guess we are good. I guess we're good. All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to each and every one. And yes, to those that have joined us, peace and blessings. I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you for being with us, and I appreciate all of you that are also watching this. Peace and blessings to you. Any questions or comments, you can contact me through the website, or you can comment on Facebook or YouTube channel. So peace and blessings, and we will, I guess we are out. And until next time, Shabbat Shalom.